Hey guys, welcome to the Nate Whitson Podcast. I'm your host. Thanks for listening. Glad that you're here. I'm a habits and behavioral change coach for Christian men in particular, and our goal here is to align our behavior with our beliefs, to live lives that are worthy of the name of Jesus. That's really what it's about. And so our goal is to be better husbands, better fathers, better followers of Jesus, better men. And we base that around four different principles here in our fight club called honor, discipline, strength, and joy. Those are the four principles that we pursue. And everything kind of centers around those ideas: living a life that's worthy, being a man of action, being a man of alignment, where we say we believe in Jesus, we believe he's come and he's changed our lives, he's given us life to the fullest, and now we want to behave in a way that aligns with what we say we believe. And it's really this idea that hypocrisy in the church has caused many outside of the church to say, well, gosh, if that's a Christian, they look just like me, they sound just like me, they act just like me. You know, like, what is there? There's nothing attractive to that, right? When you're a hypocrite, when you're living out of alignment. And so we're not trying to do self-help here. This isn't about like secular self-help. It's about becoming something more. It's becoming the man that God meant for you to be. That's what we say here all the time. And all of these conversations revolve around some theme or some idea that has to do with alignment with behavior and belief, so that we can live lives that are worthy of the name of Jesus. And so if you want to learn more, go to getinthefight.club. Go to that website, getinthefight.club. You can check out all kinds of free resources. Subscribe to this channel. That helps us. And then, spread the word if you think this is a worthwhile conversation, or if you know some guys that you think, hey, I'd love to get these guys connected to this ministry. Please share this if you think it's worthy. Today, though, I want to talk about why we fail to change and how to fix it. And so I don't know about you, but if you've ever felt like, man, I've been struggling with this area of my life forever. Maybe it's as simple as, biting your fingernails, or responding in anger, or looking online at things that are just full of, lust, maybe pleasure of the eyes. And it's just like you're struggling to stop just buying stuff to make you feel happy, or whatever it is. Like it could be billions of things, right? But if there's areas of your life that are problematic for you and you're trying to change, but you felt like, man, I'm struggling to do it. I'm failing to change. I just keep thinking about it, talking about it, trying harder, but nothing seems to work. I want to talk to you about that. And I want to give you some simple ideas today about how you can potentially fix that issue. When I was preparing for this and thinking of this, it's football season right now at the recording of this. And so it made me think of back in my old football days. Imagine if you are in a huddle, okay? So if you've ever played football or any kind of sport, imagine that you're in a huddle, but in this case, we're playing football. And the quarterback gets the call, but he comes into the huddle, and the only thing he says is, hey, guys, let's score a touchdown. Ready? Break. What? Right? Imagine being in that huddle where that was the only instruction given. Let's score a touchdown. Ready? Break. And then everybody is supposed to, right, run up to the line of scrimmage, run the play, execute the play. But the problem with that is what? There's no clarity at all to score a touchdown. Of course we want to score a touchdown. We know what we want to do. You might even be pointed in the right direction. But if the team doesn't know the play, if it isn't a cohesive play, if one guy has a different play in mind, none of that would work, right? So the rest of the players, if a quarterback gives instructions to let's score a touchdown, ready, break, would be so stupid, right? Everybody would be confused. The questions would be quick. Like, what is the play? What exactly are we supposed to run here? What am I supposed to do? What are you going to do? What's the plan? What's the strategy? Where do we go from here? This, as I was watching football and thinking of this is what I think happens for many of us. We are trying to change something in our life, and we might even be pointed in the right direction, but the play is not clear. The plan is not clear, if there even is one, and things are just too vague, right? Go score a touchdown. Go fix your life. Stop acting like a dummy, right? All of that is maybe good intention, but good intentions, even if they're in the right direction, simply aren't enough. And we all know it. What you need, and here's the thing, like if you get nothing else out of today's conversation, what you need more than anything is clarity. And I want to give you some simple questions, 3 simple questions that I think that you can ask yourself that will help to run an actual play, help you to run an actual strategy. And in the end, I think might be able to help you to get unstuck and to make it easier for you to change that thing that you've just been wanting to change. You're in the right direction to change, but you're not clear about how to change. The first problem, though, before I give you those 3 questions, the main problem that you're probably facing, again, is that I don't think you or most guys that I talk to, myself included, my own story, thinking of this, most of us don't fail to change for lack of want, right? It's not like we're not wanting to change. I think it's genuine. I think of my own stories of struggle. I want to change. I want to be better at leading my family spiritually. I want to be better at loving my wife. I want to be better at following Jesus. I want to be better with my health. I want it. I think it's genuine, probably for you too. Like, I want that. You probably want the things that you are thinking of. But when your plan is too vague, you are simply dealing with hope, right? Hope is not a strategy. I know I've said that many times in this podcast over the last couple of years of doing this. As a financial advisor, I work with clients dealing with money and things like that on a day-to-day basis. And one of the things that we try to deal with in financial planning is this idea that hope is not a plan. Like, if a client came to me and said, man, I'm hoping that that retirement works out for me. I'm like, what's your plan? I don't know. I hope I'm going to get there, and I hope it all works out, and I hope Social Security comes through, and I hope, and I hope, and I hope. Well, I think this is the way that most of us deal with change as well. We don't have a strategy. We just have hope. And vague ideas sound nice. I think that's the thing. I'm going to give you some examples of what I'm thinking here. But I think, like, vague ideas, they sound nice, but I'm telling you, they're kind of worthless. Like this. Like, if you just say, like, man, I just need to try harder. Well, trying harder sounds like a good idea, but it's kind of worthless, right? It's worthless because it's vague. It's not a plan of action, but it's what most of us kind of hope happens. It's like, if I just try harder, right? But what if you're trying harder at the wrong thing, right? Have you ever stopped to think that? What if I'm trying harder and I'm going in exactly the wrong direction? Or how about this one? Like, next week I'll get serious, or tomorrow, or on my next birthday, or whatever, right? Some other time I'll get serious, or I'll figure it out eventually, right? It sounds nice, but it's stupid. It's worthless. Someday I'll stop, right? You hear guys say that, someday. Or I'll start when life calms down. Right now, man, I'm just so busy. I hear that one all the time. I'll do it when I feel ready. Some guys say, when you feel ready, when is that? This time's going to be different, man. Like, I tell you what, like, I've learned, like, this time's going to be different. But if that isn't followed up with a plan or a strategy, that's just hopefulness. And if it's just hope without action, it's kind of worthless. Or how about this one? Like, I know what I need to do. I just need to get out there and do it. Yeah, you're right. Nice. It sounds nice. It sounds good, but it's not really a plan until you move on it. Or I'll change when I'm a little bit more motivated, or I know I'll get back on track soon. All of these things probably sound familiar, first of all. And whether that's you or it's just you've heard it from guys like me, it's like, we say we want to change. We like the idea of changing. But one of the reasons that maybe you're still stuck, one of the reasons, if you're listening to this and going like, man, there are things in my life that I got to fix. Relationship issues, spiritual issues, mental issues, emotional issues, sexual issues, whatever it is. What are the issues that you're trying to change? If you find yourself giving vague ideas that sound nice but are kind of worthless, then it's time to have a plan. You need clarity. You need strategy, right? So clarity beats confusion every time. You know, if you walk into a dark room and you bring a flashlight, all of a sudden there's clarity. It's like, oh, there's that thing I might have tripped over. This is where you got to get. What are the things that you're tripping over in this dark room where you can't see very clearly how to get out? What you need is a flashlight. What you need is clarity, because you have good intentions. You likely have the right motivations. But if you don't have clarity on what steps to take, or your plan isn't really a plan at all, then you just have hope, and it's kind of worthless if you don't match it with actions. So All of that's the backdrop to say here's 3 specific questions that I think you can answer and that you need to answer if you're looking for clarity about making changes in your life and you're not sure what to do different, right? Here's the 3, and they're very basic. You've heard these before. Like, you don't need any kind of like, I don't know. You don't need something that's profound or complex. A lot of us think like solutions have to be profound. There's nothing profound in what I'm about to say. It's that we often just don't have clarity of simple things first. Most problems that you have simple answers, and you just got to believe that. Maybe this will convince you. The first question that you need to ask is how. How will I do this new habit or behavior that I need to do? And again, if you don't know where to start there, that part could be tricky. But let's just say that you've identified a habit or a routine or a behavior, something that you know, like this is the right next step for me, okay? I know this is something I could do that will at least point me in the right direction. Let's assume that you have that. If you don't, by the way, pause here. You could say, go to getinthefight.club /7 /7. So getinthefight.club /7. And you can get this free email series over the course of a week. I'll send you a process, the Start Super Small System process that I teach that gives specific directions and instructions for guys that are like, okay, just tell me what to do. If you're not sure what to do, start there, okay? But in this case, let's assume that you know this behavior, this would be a good habit to create, whatever it might be. The first question to ask is like, well, how am I going to do it? And the thing that I promote here is make it super small. When you get to the how am I going to do this? What behavior is it that I'm going to do exactly? Many of us go wrong in the very beginning because we try to go too big too quick. There's something like, for example, let's just say it's exercise. And you're like, man, I just need to get in better shape. I need to be stronger. Well, when you get motivated, like in the moment and everything's going your way and you're feeling fired up in the moment, it's easy to go, I'm going to go buy a gym membership. I'm going to run a mile every single day. I'm never going to eat sugar again, whatever it is. You like shoot for the moon. You go big or you go home, and it's like, if I don't suffer, then it's not real. That's a problem. And I think it's what derails so many people from the very start. And again, that's why I teach a system called the Start Super Small System, because I want your how, like how am I going to do this, to be really small, really doable, really easy, right? So instead of even like running a mile, I think the first thing you might do is just, I'm going to put on my tennis shoes and walk outside every day for the first week. You're like, well, what good's that going to do? What it does is it gets you in the habit of moving. It gets you in the habit of going. And if on one of those days you happen to feel like going further than just walking outdoors, you've already got your running shoes on. Maybe you'll run to the end of the road and back. It's something. But just winning the day, winning the moment is just movement. If I can help men just to start to move in the right direction, and they can move consistently enough over a long enough period of time, you eventually will get there because you're on the right path. So how will I do this new habit or behavior? Keep it super small, smaller than you think is necessary, and identify exactly what you're going to do. The second question to ask is when. When exactly will I do this new thing, this new habit or new behavior or new routine? How will I do it? Know exactly what you're going to do. And then know exactly when. When exactly will I do it? So rather than just saying, like, I'm going to do this today, that's not specific enough. That's my point. When exactly today are you going to do this thing that you're going to keep super small and easy to do? How am I going to do it? Keep it small. When exactly am I going to do it? And the third question is simply where. Where exactly will I do it? So think about your story for a minute, and I'll give you some examples to walk you through this. But think about your story, your journey, the changes that have been difficult for you. Can you clearly articulate and answer these 3 basic questions of how, when, and where? Many of you might have one of those. You know how you're going to do it. You know what the behavior is. Maybe you've even made it super small, but you haven't identified exactly when or exactly where. And that combination is the key. It's not difficult, right? This is clarity and simplicity, and that wins the battle almost all the time. Rather than going big and making it complex or too difficult to do, keep it super small and answer three basic questions: how, when, and where, but be specific about it, right? You need crystal clear answers and strategies. You don't just need, I hope to do it later, or when I feel motivated, and have no idea when, where, or how. All right. So here's some examples I'll give you. A guy that says, I'm going to try harder to get in shape, right? Sounds nice. How many of you listening have said that before, right? I'm going to try harder. I'm going to try harder to get in shape. Sounds nice, but it's worthless. Clarity is what you need. Clarity beats nice intentions all day long. So how are you going to do it? How are you going to get in shape? Identify a super small way of doing it. So when you start small, you're going to say, I'm going to do 5 push-ups. All right. 5 push-ups is the how. It's what I'm going to do. It's a behavior that is going to put me on the path. It's simple. It's easy. I know I can do it. When are you going to do it? Right after I brush my teeth in the morning. Sweet. Now you've identified how you're going to start getting in shape. You've identified now an exact time. When exactly are you going to do it? Right after I brush my teeth in the morning. Where? On the floor next to my bed. Think about like this. This is not rocket science. This is not complex. You're going to think, this is so basic, Nate. Like, this is worthless. Really try it. Have some clarity about your issue and put this into motion. How are you going to do it? What exactly are you going to do that you could do even on your worst day? This is one of the things I tell people all the time. Like 5 push-ups. Again, the pushback people give me is, well, this 5 push-ups isn't going to do anything. Well, yeah, what's 5 push-ups over the course of a year, though, right? Versus 5 push-ups when you feel like it. Don't you think that doing just a little bit each day eventually would get you much further than just doing it when you randomly felt like it, felt motivated? It absolutely will. And if you start thinking long-term like that, by just starting super small and doing a little bit consistently, you're going to start winning at all kinds of change. So keep it small and realize it's not about what it did that day. It's what it's doing to you to become a person who consistently shows up. That's the name of the game. If you listen to no more podcasts, if you listen to nothing else I said, but you realize that the name of the game isn't winning the day, it's showing up every day. Consistently showing up every day is the name of the game. And the way that I think people respond to that better is by keeping it super small. So you want to get in shape? Great. Saying it is worthless. Having a plan of action will get you there. How are you going to do it? 1 push-up, 5 push-ups, 1 squat, 10 squats, doesn't matter, right? Keep it small, something that you could do even on your worst day when you feel terrible, stressed out, have no time. I could at least do 5 push-ups, whatever it is. That's how I'm going to do it. When are you going to do it? Right after you brush your teeth. Where are you going to do it? On the floor next to your bed. It's a clarifying, simple strategy, and it beats vague, I'll get to it later, I'll do it today, whatever it is, right? It's clear, it's simple, and you can do this. You could consistently show up and do that. How about this one where a guy will be like, you know what, I'm going to get serious about reading my Bible. I know I need to read my Bible more, and man, I've struggled to do that. Cool. Let's get some clarity around that. How are you going to do it? What exactly is going to be the routine or the habit or the behavior? So the answer might be, well, I'm going to spend 10 minutes in the Word, or I'm going to read 10 sentences. Maybe that's even better to start, right? Keep it super small, but identify exactly what you're going to do that you could do even on your worst, busiest, most unmotivated day. And then when exactly will you do it? Well, I'm going to do it every morning at 6:30 before breakfast. Cool. Now you know exactly. Your brain doesn't have to think hard about how am I going to get this in today. You know exactly what you're going to do. You know exactly when you're going to do it. Where are you going to do it? I'm going to do that. I'm going to read at the kitchen table with my coffee. Super clear, right? It's a plan. It's a strategy. You don't have to think crazy about it. You wake up and you know exactly what you're going to do, when you're going to do it, and where you're going to do it. All of a sudden, I'm telling you, you're going to start reading your Bible more. You're going to start to win at that habit. How about this one? I said, like, the guy that's like, man, I'm going to try to stop looking at porn. Clarity beats intentions all the time. How are you going to do it? Well, maybe your action step is going to be I'm going to text an accountability partner when I feel tempted. So when exactly will you do that? The moment I feel that urge, the moment that I know I'm in trouble here, the moment that I know like, oh, like this is drawing me into it, whatever that moment is, in that moment, I know exactly how I'm going to do it. I'm going to text my buddy and tell him, and maybe it's just I'm going to send like the praying hands emoji, right? Maybe you don't have to like say it in text what it is, but maybe you've got some kind of bat signal, right? That you can send out like, please help me, to your accountability partner. But rather than just saying like, man, I'm going to try harder to stop doing this thing that's crushing my soul, maybe what you're going to do is identify a small routine or habit or system that you can do. That's the how. And you're going to say when, exactly in that moment, before it gets out of hand, before it gets like to the point of no return, the moment I feel that, I'm just going to send him the Batmobile text number, whatever, text or whatever it is, right? I'm going to let him know, like, I'm in danger here. Will you pray for me? Where will I do this exactly? Anywhere, but especially when I'm home alone at night or whatever it is, right? Where, anywhere in this particular case, because you can text as long as you've got your phone. But you have a plan. You have a strategy for how you're going to do this. You're not just going, you know, like, I want to get better at this. Well, it's not a plan. It just sounds nice. Oh, I want to be a better man in this area. Cool. But what are you going to do? How are you going to do it? When are you going to do it? Where are you going to do it? Last one, just to kind of help you to hopefully bring some of these ideas together. And again, my hope for you is that in a practical sense, you're thinking of your own journey and story here and thinking, how are you going to answer these three basic questions? But how about for the guy that's like, man, I want to be more joyful. I want to have a better mindset, a more grateful heart, be a more thankful person. That's like a great thing, a great thing to pursue as a man who's trying to be a better follower of Christ, a better husband, better father, all those things that we're pursuing here. So how are you going to do it? Well, I'm going to write down 3 things that I'm thankful for every single day. Cool. When are you going to do it? I'm going to do it right before bed after I brush my teeth. Cool. That's very specific. It's an exact time, knowing exactly what you're going to do. I'm going to write down 3 things. When? Right before bed after I brush my teeth. Where? In my journal next to my bed. Cool. The journal's there. It sits there right next to your bed. You, after a week of doing this, is going to be like no big deal. You just get in the habit, get in the routine, right? Next thing you know, you'll probably be doing this without even thought. It's just something that happens, which is really the definition of what a habit is. Using habits to your advantage to become a better husband and father and follower of Christ is having a plan. How you're going to do it, when you're going to do it exactly, where exactly you're going to do it. So, encapsulating all this here. Intentions are great. Intentions and motivations, they sound nice, but outside of action, they don't really help you. Like everybody, you in particular, and me in particular, intend to be better. It's probably the only reason you're still listening to this if you are. There's something in your life that you want to be better at. You want to be a better husband, father, follower of Christ, right? Your intentions are good. My intentions are good. But only those men who have a plan and then execute it are going to see the results. That's not groundbreaking. We all know that. But we always seem to just rely on hope. And my point to you today is have a plan. How are you going to do it? When are you going to do it? Where are you going to do it? Those 3 simple, basic questions will get you results. And I think can help you to change when you feel like, man, change has been tough and I haven't been able to do it. Part of it might be just you don't have a plan and it's too difficult or complex. Simplicity prevents overwhelm and specificity gets results. Simplicity prevents overwhelm. I know how, I know when, and I know where, and it's not difficult, right? But yet it's specific. I know exactly how I'm going to do it. I know exactly when, I know exactly where. Your brain craves this kind of clarity. And when it's clear and it's obvious and it's easy to do, and you consistently show up, change starts to happen. It made me think of this verse here. I looked this up and thought this was so cool. Habakkuk, which you don't turn to very often probably. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 2 says, write the vision, make it plain on tablets so he may run who reads it. Write the vision, make it plain so that he who reads it can run with it. I love that. What's your vision for change? Is it plain? Is it simple? Is it clear? If not, it may be why you haven't been able to run away from this thing. It may be the reason that you haven't been able to run towards freedom or to change or to being the man that you want to be. Maybe Habakkuk 2:2 is a verse worth memorizing for you. Write the vision, make it plain on tablets, so he may run who reads it. My hope for you, my hope for me, is that you can run with this vision that God has for you to live a better life, a fuller life, to become the man that God meant for you to be. So I could become that, so that you could become that, right? He is worthy of us living lives like that. We're not trying to change for the sake of change. We're trying to change because he is worthy, and people are counting on us. So where in your life do you need clarity and specificity? Where in your life are you trying to change, but your plan is super vague? Sounds nice, but it's kind of worthless. What habit could you immediately clarify by simply answering how you're going to do it, when exactly you'll do it, and where exactly you'll do it? And how could writing it down give you the structure maybe that you need so that it's on plain, on tablets? Maybe your tablets is a piece of paper, maybe it's your computer, maybe it's your phone, right? But just like Habakkuk's telling us, like writing it down gives you the vision, makes it plain so that you can run your race, so that you can live a life that's worthy of the name of Jesus. I think if you've struggled to change, these three basic questions of how, when, and where could totally break things open for you. That's my hope. Listen, if you are looking for more help, you're looking for more accountability, there's all kinds of free tools, resources. This podcast is one of those free options for you. Find all about all the things at getinthefight.club. If you get a chance, make sure that you click the subscribe button right now. Do that really quickly or before you run off and move on with your day if you can. That makes a big difference. If you're interested in more accountability, you want to talk with me directly, you want to meet with men from around the world who are trying to get better as well, go to getinthefight.club/FC for Fight Club /FC and check that out today. Again, it's free to join. Would love to have you. Also, if this is an encouraging message and you think this is helpful, then maybe you will share it. Share it on your social media, share it with a friend directly, whatever it is. We're one man at a time trying to get in the fight and be men of honor, discipline, strength, and joy. If that's helpful for you, I'm grateful. If you think it's helpful, share it with somebody as well. All right, that's it for today. Get in the fight. We'll see you soon. Hey guys, thanks so much for being here today and listening to the show. Please be sure to head over to the website at getinthefight.club. And before you go, if you haven't already, please subscribe, click the like button, and leave us a positive 5-star review. It makes a huge difference whenever you do. Have a great day. Go get in the fight.